I'm storyteller Tim Lowry, the sweet tea commentator from Summerville, South Carolina. It's tea time. Previous to the Civil War, the fine ladies of Summerville served hot tea poured from treasured heirloom silver teapots. But as the war drug on, the Confederacy needed more supplies, and so the ladies of Summerville donated their teapots to be auctioned to raise money for a gunboat. Unfortunately, a year after the gunboat was commissioned, the Yankees blew it up, causing some poor damsel in distress to holler, "I shall never go without tea again." Speaking of silver, at Hannah Brink Jewelers, you can purchase an exclusive Camellia sinensis pendant. That's a tea leaf, a real one. Well, it was real, and then it was silverized, but nonetheless, you'll look good. This is making me thirsty. I want some tea. After all the fine Summervillian ladies' silver teapots were gone with the wind, they switched to serving sweet tea in a lowly mason jar. I've always thought of the mason jar as the democratization of sweet tea. Whether you be high-born or low-brow, you probably have some mason jars on a shelf in a closet or tucked under the kitchen sink. My granddaddy used to keep one behind a loose board in the chicken coop. He was known to sip a sparkling liquid from it, but I don't think that was tea. Of course, the most essential ingredient is the tea leaf. Here in Summerville, we always use American classic tea, locally grown. I'm reading from the side of the box. Over 100 years ago, tea planters brought their finest ancestral tea bushes from China and India by way of Summerville to South Carolina. Now the direct descendants of these very plants have been lovingly restored to their former glory. Lovingly restored to their former glory. Sounds like my Aunt Charlotte. She considers herself an American classic, but that ain't tea. Her secret is Botox. Next, you must procure several quarts of clear water. Preferably, the water should be collected from a bubbling artesian well surrounded by mossy stones and shaded by the delicate branches of the finest ferns. Or you could just run water from the tap. Just like my Aunt Charlotte's Botox, nobody can really tell the difference. In addition to the tea and water, you will need sugar. Most receipt books will say sugar to taste. People with Yankee ancestry might say a spoonful of sugar, which is fine by me as long as your spoon is approximately the same size as your snow shovel. You're gonna need ice, plenty of ice, because in South Carolina, it's hot. You know what they say, we have 4 distinct seasons: hot, hotter, still hot, and Christmas. You're gonna want a lemon for a little spritz in your tea. Make sure you roll the lemon a little bit so that it'll juice well. I'm glad you're watching this. My cousin rolled the lemon like a bowling ball and said, "What good does that do?" I had to show her, like this. I'm not gonna tell you her name, but she's Aunt Botox's daughter. What, you don't like lemon? That's okay, they sell boiled peanuts and liver pudding. You're gonna need some mint. And if you don't have any, you do what I do. You just reach across the neighbor's fence and steal some of theirs. Do you hear those church bells? I'm gonna get struck. They say it is the olfactory senses that bring back the most vivid memories. I never get a whiff of fresh mint, what my mind isn't drawn back to the summertime of youth. And I see myself sitting on the porch of the ancestral home place. All the cousins running around in the yard, aunts and uncles yelling, "Look here," and "Stop that." The screen door squeaks open and my sainted grandmother steps out and hands me a tall mason jar dripping with condensation, its contents sparkling in the sunlight, a beautiful picture of sparkling sweet tea. I'm sorry, being overcome with thirst, I simply cannot continue.